In 2006, I adopted an 8-year-old golden retriever Labrador mix named Sunny. When you have a dog, you suddenly become aware of what's on the ground because your dog's nose is down trying to put something in their mouth that probably should not be in their mouth. So in looking down to see what she was trying to get into, I realized there's a lot of trash on the ground, and most of it's plastic. Now, Sunny and I used to go to Prospect Park, which is 8 blocks from my apartment in Brooklyn, every morning to play. But being an older dog, after a while, she couldn't go that far, so we'd just go to the corner, which is 50 yards from my front door. And I began counting trash. Some days I'd find 6 pieces, but other days I'd find 128. Now multiply that by 13,000 miles of sidewalk in New York City, and that is an insane amount of trash. What happens to it? Well, trash gets swept down into storm drains, which combine with the water from your sink and toilet on its way to a sewage treatment plant. During heavy rains, which are now the norm, this system overflows, sending the sewage and trash into surrounding waterways. It then follows currents and ends up either back on land or in an ocean's gyre. Now, plastic doesn't biodegrade. It may break into smaller bits, but it doesn't ever go away. I realized we're in a crisis, and I'm developing an obsession. So I'm a choreographer, and how I make sense of things is to internalize them through creation. So I decided I'm going to create a piece. I reached out to the Earth Institute for help with research and also began collecting plastic six-pack holders, which would serve as the basis for the costumes. I worked with 3 local pizzerias, and it took us 3 months to amass 5,000 of them. I also began thinking, how can this really important message meet more people? And my answer was, go where people are and where trash is. So I wrote a bunch of grants to take the work outdoors, and several came through. And the dancers and I began traipsing to Coney Island and Manhattan Beach to rehearse. And in Dancing on Sand, we unearthed generous amounts of trash. Again, mostly plastic. I signed up as a volunteer coastal cleanup coordinator, and in conjunction with performances, we'd gather volunteers to help clean the beach and pick up trash. The amount of people that showed up for the events was way more than we'd ever seen in a theater. We were a little trashy, but it felt meaningful. The following year, we repeated the project, and thanks to a feature in the New York Times, our audiences increased exponentially. In 2011, I became involved with several national and international organizations focusing on plastic and water pollution. I even led a trash tour of New York City for the BMW Guggenheim Lab. I created a character, Polyethylene, who began giving cabaret and symposium talks around the city. And then my phone started ringing. Will Artichoke Dance perform for the National Water Dances Day, for a benefit for the Plastic Pollution Coalition? Now, my volunteering my time is one thing, but to commit my company meant resources, and I needed to make a decision. I kept thinking about the people that would stop and take a picture or a video, ask us a question, join in gathering trash, or even in dancing with us. I realized this is where my passion is, and I had to dive all in. Today, Artichoke Dance Company performs every year annually in highly public traffic locations. We've changed our mission, and we're in an organization of national agencies that help support our work and our environmental advocacy. Rather than clamoring to get butts in seats, we're performing for thousands of people who would probably never ever know who we are or what we do. We've learned how to navigate crowds and to draw them along. Our main challenge now is to figure out actually who that person is that's holding the camera and what the benefits of what we're doing are for them. But one thing is certain, my work has changed, and so have I, all because I began looking down. Sunny passed away during Hurricane Sandy. Several days later, I took her favorite toy to Prospect Park, but it was barricaded. I approached a park's employee saying, I just need to take my dog's ball and throw it around in her favorite spot. He said, there are falling limbs. I can't let you into the park. And then he paused for a moment and looked at my face and said, wait a minute, you're that woman who does performances about trash. And then he said, I saw you guys performing at Coney Island when I was there filling out a survey. You had hundreds of volunteers cleaning the beach, and you guys were dancing around with these plastic costumes on. Now, he didn't know who I was. He didn't know who Sonny was before that. But now he knows who I am. He knew the value of what I did and who we were. I did actually get to go into the park that day. Now, that never would have happened without my dog, Sonny, and without me looking down, and the passion that she inspired me for reaching out and for picking up. Thank you.